are you? I was just looking at a recipe book for tonight's dinner. That reminds me that my partner Lori and I have created a recipe for our buyer's success. You know, it's turned into a seller's market in recent months here in Orange County, and in order for a buyer to actually achieve their goals and get a home, they need to have a plan, a recipe. So with your permission, I'd like to go through our recipe book with you, and we'll go through them item by item. The very first item you need in your recipe in order to succeed is determine up front what price you're willing to pay for a home. What's the absolute max you're willing to pay as a whole for any home out there, and specifically for a particular home when you find that home. Determine that. It will help you with your negotiations later. Establish a target time to move into the home. That'll help you in your search, and it'll also help your agent when they are negotiating on your behalf for the purchase of a home. Establish that time frame. When do you want to move? Critical. Get pre-approved by a direct lender for a loan. A direct lender is one that actually funds the loan themselves. And once they pre-approve you, make sure that they write a pre-approval letter that they can give you and your agent so that you can present that with your offer to a seller. Next, and this is psychologically critically important, only look at homes that are within your price point. Right now, homes have been appreciating, and if you have the old strategy, as when it was a buyer's market, of looking at homes a little above what you're willing and able to pay, and thinking you can negotiate them down, that's a recipe for failure. Look only at the homes that are within the price point that you're willing and able to pay. And once you've found a home, let's get real competitive with your offer. Item number 1, don't write a lowball offer. Once again, it's not a buyer's market anymore. If you write a lowball offer, what you're very likely to do is upset the seller. They'll get emotionally involved in you not getting the deal, and they won't even respond to you in many instances. Or if they do, they will respond in a way that will upset you too, and you're not going to end up getting the property. So don't write a lowball offer. Number 2, along with your agent, in terms of being competitive, make sure you've done your homework. Know what prices homes have been going for in the area. Know how many homes are currently competing with the home you're writing an offer on. Look at what trends are, and make sure that you use that as part of your objective reasoning for the price that you're offering on a home. Next ingredient. Know this: in California, liquidated damages are limited to 3% of the purchase price. Liquidated damages meaning if you decide at the last minute not to buy a home, what's the maximum that a seller could get from you if you bail out of the contract? Knowing that you're protected by state law, be willing to write an offer where your deposit is higher than 3%, 3, 6, 9, 12% if you can, because psychologically the seller sees a larger deposit and they think you're more serious about buying the home than somebody who has a very low deposit. The next thing is continue to think how you can sweeten the pot with the seller with no negative benefit or detriment to you. For example, know what the seller's hot buttons are. Do they want a fast escrow? Have they been burned in the past by contingency periods that went too long? Be willing to shorten the escrow. Be willing to shorten a contingency period. Look at things that can sweeten the pot for the seller. And in thinking of that, in negotiation, be willing to give up something that may not be as important to you as something that you do want. For everything that you want to gain, like maybe a lower price point, be willing to give something that would be important to the seller, like a fast escrow period, or a large deposit, or a larger down payment. Think about give and get, and win and win. And then finally, and this is the toughest one, don't become emotionally involved with the purchase of the home until you own the home. If you get too emotionally involved in the home, you're likely to make bad decisions in terms of your negotiation along the way. Always have a backup plan. Have another home that if this one doesn't work out, you can move into this one and write an offer. And stay as mellow as you can through the negotiation period, and that way you're more likely to win, and the recipe we presented to you is more likely to help you to achieve your goals and get the home you want. Well, thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Now I'm going to get back to the recipe for tonight's dinner. Bye.